What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to show you guys how to create your own community game in Battlefield 5. This is free to all players who own the game. So what you want to do here is go over here to play, go down to multiplayer, go over here to create community game. From there, you're going to see a very bare bones configuration screen. This is because this is the first phase of community games. There's going to be more options coming out here in the future that we'll talk about here in a second. But to get started, create your own configuration name. This is so every time you want to choose between the different custom games, you have one that's already named for you, so you have to keep making the same custom game over and over and over again. Now, this will not show up for other people to see in the servers. Right now, if you want people to join your custom game, they're going to have to know your server number. So they're going to add that customization server name here in the future, but right now, they're going to need to know your server number. And I'll show you more how you're going to be able to tell which are the community created games in the server browser here in a second. So once we've done that, we're going to hit back, go over here to the game sizes. We have 16, 32, and 64. The 16 player one is Squad Conquest. 64 players is Breakthrough and Conquest. And 32 players has the largest amount, which is Team Deathmatch, Outpost, Frontlines, Domination, and Rush. So we'll do Rush here. We then have the option to choose up to 1 to 20 rounds. So they have it capped out at 20, so no 24-hour server for Rush if you want to create one. And I imagine that's because since this is free to everyone, they don't want, everyone choosing 24-hour servers and then maxing out all the servers and having other people in the Battlefield community not ever have a chance to create their own custom server. So I imagine that's the case off the top of my head. I don't see anything written in stone, but yeah, that's my guess right now. So then you have the option here to switch between the different maps. Maybe you want to do one map over and over again, or swap between two maps, or whatever your choice is. That's your option to do that there. And then you go over here to password, and you can make it password protected. So people who can only join your server have to know your password. In my case, I'm going to keep that open. And then we have a minimum player count that goes down to 4 if you want to start the round, or up to the max 32 and everything else in between. So that's the option there. We'll go down here to save. And now we have created our own custom game. So if we want to start that game, we can hit A, which will say create and join game here. And that's how easy as it is right now. So as you can see, I made another community game where I did Breakthrough on Operations Underground, did 20 rounds of that. And yeah, so I can swap between these two, and that's how I can go from there. So let's show you what it looks like in the server browser to be able to tell who has made their own custom game. So the big giveaway right now, because again, we can't see the custom names up here, is you're going to see Tides of War disabled. So that's the indicator that this is a custom made game. And the reason why is because DICE has disabled progression for Tides of War, soldier progression, and chapter reward progression. And I imagine they're doing that because they want to prevent boosting from happening. So boosting is when players exploit the XP system, where let's say the one of the Tides of War nodes is, get 60 headshots or whatever, and so that someone creates a custom game that says headshot only server for Tides of War, and people are just standing in a line and everyone's just getting headshots, and that's the way for them to exploit the system. And I imagine DICE doesn't want to do that, so that's the reason why the custom games are not going to have any progression at all. So is that a good idea or not? I don't know. We're going to have to see. We'll see if players are still going to want to play the custom-made community games, even though they're not progressing their Tides of War or chapter rewards or even their soldier progression. I imagine for the meanwhile, that'll probably be the case. People will jump in and try out the community games, but over time, we'll see if maybe DICE needs to do something to incentivize people to play the community games or not. But let's now jump into one of these servers and see what they're all about. So let's go in here to the game info. We're going to see the admin's name on the top right. They do have powers to kick players from the server. As you can see, they're playing Twisted Steel and Conquest, and that is the rotation of maps that they have on here right now. So we'll join that as I talk about some of the new stuff coming out here in the future. So here's a full list on the screen for you guys. This is all planned to come out next year, which is only a month away, so it's right around the corner. We're going to see things like control what classes are available, control what weapons are allowed, control what vehicles are allowed, control if the kill cam will be displayed or not. You can see a lot of things here that we saw like in Battlefield 1's private server, especially things for like hardcore mode that we saw a lot in those private servers. So we're seeing those options return again. So it looks like for right now, what's mainly here is for players who just kind of want to play things like Rush over and over again, or Breakthrough on Operation Underground over and over again. And then the next phase is going to be more things that we've seen before with customization options for like hardcore mode and things of that nature. And then even though we haven't heard anything yet, I imagine they're going to continue pushing out stuff mainly for the whole competitive scene, because that's what they said, what they were really trying to do here for the whole community servers was to move the whole competitive scene that they were working on over the summer, and they're going to move it back to the community to create their own custom games through that avenue there. So that's what I see them doing in the future. But that is a quick run through for you guys on how to create your own community game. Feel free to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin, and I'll catch you guys again later.